In 2008, Quosal introduced our online content provider partner, Etilize, to the quote and proposal world. Hi, I'm Kent McNall, CEO of Quosal, and I'm very happy to be with you today to introduce you to Etilize Premier, the next generation of Quosal's integration with the online Etilize content. With Etilize Premier, you're going to go to the next level of your ability to search for and locate exactly the products that you want to sell to your customers and expand your ability to give them even more information faster and better and be able to put together the kind of quotes and proposals that you want to put together with the products from all over the world. The Etilize Content Database brings in manufacturer content from over 20,000 manufacturers and over 7 million products. And now with Etilize Premier, Quosal has made it even more possible for you to get to exactly the products you want to put on your quotes and proposals. So let's take a look at Etilize Premier, and I hope you enjoyed this 10-minute tour. In many video presentations and demonstrations, Quosal has often shown how we've integrated the Etilize online content services into our product, and how when you put a product part number in, you get great content, images, and real-time pricing links to your vendors and other product sources. Etilize Premier is the next generation, and your journey into Etilize Premier starts simply enough by just simply clicking the new Etilize button in the Quosal menu bar. Let's talk a little bit about the Etilize Premier interface. On the left-hand side are your searches and filtering and other information that will appear as we go through the presentation. On the right-hand side are the sources for your current product group. So there are several things that will be familiar to our Etilize users. One is that you can still simply do a keyword search. And those search results will come back quickly and will be combined not only with the products located, but also with the instant real-time pricing available for those products. Now you notice that I have an additional filter here, which is showing me my items on hand. So you can view all items by using the filter, but it's obviously quite convenient to see only those items that someone has on hand and available to you. But you can do many other types of searches as well, and you can save the searches. So I've created searches before, and let's take a look at HP i7 laptops. So that will go out, repeat the search that I had previously done and saved. Notice that I now have 50 of 67 results and can scan through to pull all the results in at the same time and give us a complete list of products that meet the criteria I had set up and saved before. Let's take a look at one of these products. So I'm going to double click on this particular Elite book, and that is going to pull up a lot of great information, and this is one of the key values that we've added in Etilize Premier. All right, so let's start from the top. Product image and the description of the product. And then I have several new categories of information. Accessories for this product, similar products, upsell products, and full specifications. In the accessories area, this is great because we can actually scan through for different types of accessories, like batteries. So you've got some really nice now additional information that you can get to and add to your quote or just review for your own purposes. Any of the accessories or any of the additional products you can view right here, and you've got a nice navigation path that builds across the top to get you back to where you came from. I can easily add this product to the quote by using one of the two add buttons here. I can add it, which returns me to my workspace, or I can add it here and continue my search in the Etilize Premier interface. Now we've looked at how keyword search works. Let's see how drilling through the parameters and categories that Etilize provides also allows us to locate the products that we're looking for. So let's say, for example, that we'd like to find i7-based notebooks with 17-inch monitors. So let's see how we would find that. First of all, we'll start with the information technology tree that's provided by Etilize. We'll next go to the notebooks section. Notice that we see a few of the categories, but can also view all of the categories that we can browse through for Etilize, which as you can see is hundreds of products categories that Etilize has standardized. And we'll go back and we'll go ahead and choose notebooks. Now, Quosal immediately begins searching through the hierarchy so that it can return to us a parameterized list of additional options that allow us to search. And down here, we see that we can search through a number of features categories. So we could choose a product type. You can see the great amount of detail that's available through this interface. So we'll go down and find our 17-inch monitors right there. Quosal again begins the search process. And you can see if I click on View All under Features, how many different features we can set to look for exactly what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and use processor type here and go down and find our Core i7, and that will add that parameter and show us only Core i7 with 17-inch monitors. So it's showing us 40 results, but only those that are on hand. One of the absolutely coolest parts of the Etilize Premier interface is the ability for you to create comparisons for you to look at and review as you're selecting a product to quote to your customer, or for the customer to review. So let's just say that we'd like to compare these 3 notebook computers and see what the specifications are of each one. So we'll go ahead and select the checkbox and hit the Compare button. Quosal instantly converts the information into a side-by-side comparison with all the parameters shown. So as we scroll down, you'll see how that comparison looks. And of course, these are very similar laptops because that's the way we selected them. And also you'll notice that each of the parameters has a checkbox by it. So you can actually turn parameters on and off for the purpose of presentation on your quote or to the customer. Now, if I'd like my customer to be able to see this comparison as part of my quote, I can attach it to the quote. And later, when we produce our quote, we'll be able to see how that comparison looks. Let's bring all these elements together and take a look at how we can create the kind of quote that you want to create for your customers using Etilize Premier. So I've had a good customer contact me, and he's interested in an i7 notebook, but he can't decide between HP and Dell. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a comparison quote for our customer using Etilize Premier. Now, I've already done a little bit of setup work, and I have my customer attached, and I've created a section of my quote for the HP and for the Dell. And I'm probably going to recommend the HP, but make sure that the customer can see the differences between the two and select the one that they want. So let's go into Etilize Premier and begin our work. Now I have a saved search out here that I can execute to show me my HP i7 laptops. And of course, I'm interested in the ones that are on hand somewhere. Etilize tells me that I have 67 total results. It's got the first 50. We can get the second 50. And remember that we're only seeing the on-hand models. Let's go ahead and add that to our quote. Pulls it up, pulls up the brochures and the accessories that are available, and I'll go ahead and add this and continue. Now, I want to give the customer one of our Etilize Premier comparisons between these models that he's interested in. So I'm going to return to my search, and I want to save this for comparison purposes. So I'm going to click on Save right there. Notice it puts it below the save line. And now I can do my second search, which is for a Dell i7 laptop. And I don't lose my HP for comparison purposes. And I'm going to also save that and go ahead and produce the comparison, because that will automatically use these two saved elements right here. So when I click Compare, I get to compare between those two completely different laptops that were produced by completely different searches. I'll go ahead and attach that comparison to the quote. Now, let's not forget that I want to add that Dell laptop to the quote as well. So I'm going to return to my workspace, make sure I'm located in the right section of the quote, and go ahead and we'll add that Dell to the quote. Pull that up, there's the brochures, and I will add that to my workspace. All right, so we now have a quote that has those two notebooks, and we're going to be able to present that to the customer in the way that they would like. So let's go ahead now and go to our Publish and Deliver panel and see how Quosal allows us to put the exact kind of document that we want to put together for the customer. Now, by default, we automatically have the quote form that we normally use for the type of template that we created this quote from. But let's add a few things to that. First of all, I want to add my Etilize comparison. That's going to have the comparison page between the laptops that we're quoting. And then in addition to that, I might have other PDFs I want to add, or the brochures for the products I've quoted, which are automatically available and automatically downloaded from Etilize through Etilize Premier. So let's first add the recommended HP, and then let's add the Dell brochures. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at those brochures, which we can do in several different ways, including our export to PDF option. As always, Quosal has created a beautiful proposal or quote document. In this case, our primary HP option with its great Etilize content, images, and text is displayed. We have complete control over how much content we put on there. Here's our Dell, which is our optional model that we are presenting. Of course, our recap. And then here's our side-by-side comparison, which Quosal automatically generated through the Etilize Premier interface. Complete information about those two laptops. And remember, we had complete control of which parameters we wanted to show as part of this comparison. Then we have the brochures that Etilize automatically downloaded and that we were automatically able to attach to our Quosal quote for both models of laptop. And of course, when you publish your quotes online to our market-leading order porter system, with or without a personal video, as I've included here, you'll be able to offer your customer exclusive options with the radio buttons between the two laptops, as you normally can on any Quosal quote. Well, Mr. Yu has recontacted us after looking at our order porter page, and he's really interested in some accessories. He's really thinking mostly about the HP model at this point. So let's go and see how we can use our new Etilize Premier capability to locate some accessories for this HP and offer them to our customer. So I just copied the part number. So as I go back to our Etilize interface, I'll clear out my search, and let's look for just that one part number. Naturally, it was still on the screen, but I'm just kind of giving you an example of the kind of specific search you can do to get back to a component that you want to look for some additional parts for. All right, so we've pulled up our notebook of interest, and he's expressed interest in a case, and he's also, again, really interested in that battery that we talked about before. So here's the case, and I can go and add the accessories. I can create it as an option, as you can see, and I can add it to any section of the quote or even create a new section of the quote on the fly. So let's go ahead and add it to the section of the quote that we were already looking at, which was the HP. Now let's find that battery, and let's also add that. We hope you can see how much time Etilize Premier will save you every day in doing exactly the kinds of quotes and proposals that you want for your customers. For more information about Quosal and about our new Etilize Premier capability, give us a call and contact us on the information shown on your screen. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.